Welcome to this explainer. If you've just wired up a new lithium battery and opened your BMS app, you probably know the drill. You're instantly hit with a giant wall of overwhelming settings. Over voltage, charge limits, discharge limits. It's a whole lot to take in. Today, we're ditching the incredibly risky habit of just blindly copying random internet settings. Instead, we're going to dig into the actual electrical engineering behind them so you don't accidentally fry your very expensive hardware. Which brings us to a really crucial question right out of the gate. Are your battery settings actually safe? Because honestly, assuming they're good to go without fully understanding them is a highly dangerous game to play. Just one wrong parameter can seriously slash your battery's lifespan, or worse, create a massive safety hazard. We aren't here to just copy-paste someone else's homework. We need to know exactly what each parameter does and why it matters. Think about it. A BMS configuration that runs perfectly on one setup might be literally disastrous for yours. Why? Because cell chemistry, capacity, max discharge ratings, and specific manufacturer limits vary wildly from battery to battery. If you just slap a configuration from a totally different setup onto yours, you're rolling the dice. We're talking premature aging, cells swelling up like balloons, severe overheating, random system shutdowns, and totally permanent hardware failure. No thanks. So here is our roadmap to make sense of all these interdependent variables. 1. The danger of copying. 2. The BMS brain. 3. Cell versus pack voltage. 4. Current matching hardware limits. 5. Temperature and cell balancing. And 6. Commissioning safely. All right, Section 1, the danger of copying. As we just saw, a perfectly good setup for one system could literally destroy another. Moving right along to Section 2, the BMS brain. To prevent that kind of destruction, we need to introduce the absolute hero of your system, the hardware keeping everything from going up in smoke. Picture the Battery Management System, or BMS, as your battery's highly vigilant safety supervisor. It is constantly, and I mean constantly, watching the voltage, the current flow, and the temperature. The exact second something steps out of line, whether that's a massive voltage spike or a drastic drop in temp, the BMS steps in. It uses electronic switches to instantly sever the connection before a disaster happens. It's your ultimate unblinking line of defense. Section 3. Voltage, cell versus pack. The trickiest part about voltage protection is understanding the dangerous illusion of total pack health. This right here is where so many DIY installers trip up. You see, a lithium battery is made up of individual cells wired together. If you just look at the overall pack level, a 16-cell battery might show a totally normal voltage. Everything looks perfectly fine, right? But that can hide severe underlying issues. If you zoom into the cell level, you might find that a single rogue cell is secretly pushing right up against a dangerous thermal event, like severe overvoltage. The BMS is there to protect against this by strictly enforcing limits on every single cell, not just the whole pack. Always follow your specific manufacturer's cell-level voltage limits. Okay, Section 4, current matching hardware limits. Let's talk current. The absolute most common mistake here is just maxing out the discharge values simply because you've got a thirsty inverter to feed. To grasp why maxing out those current limits is a terrible idea, we have to look at this fundamental equation. Power equals voltage times current. This tells us exactly how much energy your inverter is demanding from your battery. When your inverter's power demand goes up, the battery current has to step up to deliver it. Let's put that into perspective. If you've got a 48-volt battery pushing 50 amps to an inverter, it is churning out 2,400 watts of real, physical power. That is a lot of energy moving through your system, and naturally, all that energy generates heat. Because of that heat, your programmed discharge current absolutely cannot exceed the physical limits of your components. A lot of folks just pick the highest number in the BMS app because they want maximum power. But listen, if your BMS current limits don't match the true safe ampacity, the safe current carrying capacity of your cables, your bus bars, and the internal electronic switches inside the BMS, known as MOSFETs, you are asking for trouble. You risk melting cables, getting dangerously hot terminals, and literally frying your hardware. Your settings have to absolutely respect the physical hardware limits. Which brings us to Section 5, temperature and cell balancing. Next, we need to protect the internal chemistry of the lithium cells themselves, and we do that through strict temperature and balancing limits. Temperature settings are incredibly important, yet people ignore or bypass them all the time. Lithium cells like to operate within very specific approved temperatures. Disabling your temp protection just to avoid an annoying system shutdown is wildly dangerous. For instance, charging a freezing battery causes a chemical reaction called lithium plating That permanently scars the inside of the cell and creates a massive fire hazard. Keeping protections enabled enforces those safe manufacturer limits and ensures your battery actually lasts for years. If your system is shutting down from temperature, investigate the root cause. Don't just fire the safety supervisor. Now, there's also this dangerous myth out there that turning on the balancing function will magically fix a badly damaged cell. Let's clear that up right now. It won't. Because no two lithium cells are perfectly identical. Slight voltage differences naturally happen between them over time. As the saying goes, balancing is a maintenance function, not a repair function. Passive balancing just gently equalizes those slight natural voltage differences over time to keep a healthy pack running smoothly. It is purely routine maintenance. All right, finally, Section 6, commissioning safely. After we've dialed in all these parameters, how do we actually prove that the numbers we've entered will protect our expensive hardware in the real world?
We do it by meticulously commissioning the system. First, verify absolutely every parameter against your manufacturer's spec sheet. Next, run a controlled charging test and keep a close eye on those cell voltages and temperatures. Third, hit it with a heavy, controlled discharge test to make sure your cables and terminals aren't overheating under real stress. By walking through these steps, you are actually testing your safety supervisor to prove it's awake, fully operational, and ready for action.
As we wrap up this explainer, I've got a challenge for you. Take a hard look at your own system. Ensure your safety settings are grounded in solid engineering, not internet guesswork. Protect those individual cells, respect your physical hardware limits, and ask yourself, is your battery a ticking time bomb of copied settings or an engineered, safe powerhouse? Thanks for hanging out to decode these crucial electrical principles with me today, and I look forward to guiding you through more fascinating topics next time.